The man carefully rubs his left leg with his right foot against his lone underwear, then gently kicks at the socks on his feet until the satellite phone hidden on his body drops down. Even though Neeson is locked up tight, he still doesn't dare to let his guard down, because there are still 8 minutes left before the gang's patrol time. As time goes by, Neeson finally reaches the satellite phone he had hidden beforehand, but he's not calling for help. Instead, he calls his beloved daughter, telling her to go to the embassy for protection. What Neeson never expected was, his usually timid daughter actually volunteers to rescue him. So Neeson tells his daughter to open the suitcase in the closet, then take out a map from inside, and tie the shoelace and pen together. A makeshift compass is completed just like that. These tools are the key to finding her father's location. Then Neeson tells his daughter to use the market as the center, and draw a circle with a 3-kilometer diameter, because this market is the last place where Neeson was taken by the gang, and the 3-kilometer diameter circle is based on Neeson's incredible memory and perception. He figured out that during his capture the car drove 1.5 kilometers. That's how he came up with the 3-kilometer diameter circle centered on the market. But to confirm how far the straight line distance is between him and his daughter, Neeson can only rely on his past experience, having his daughter draw another 3-kilometer diameter circle centered on the hotel. But the result is obvious. The 3-kilometer diameter centered on the hotel is wrong. So Neeson tells his daughter to take a grenade from the suitcase, count down 3 seconds and throw it out the hotel window. Through the explosion sound, Neeson determines the distance between him and his daughter won't exceed 3 kilometers, because on the surface it's a 4-second explosion sound transmission, but actually it took 6 seconds to transmit, because the explosion sound passed through a wall to reach his daughter's phone, then from his daughter's phone to Neeson's phone. The error is about 1 second. Plus Neeson is in a completely sealed basement. The explosion sound he hears with his ears has another 1-second error. Finally it sounds transmission speed of 340 meters per second. Neeson determines he's about 2.25 kilometers from his daughter. So Neeson again tells his daughter to draw a circle centered on the hotel, and change this diameter to 4.5 kilometers. Fortunately, the two circles finally show an intersection, but unfortunately, there are 2 points at their straight line distance of 2.25 kilometers. Since Neeson is trapped at one of the intersections, he tells his daughter to come to the window and check if the flag is blowing towards the east. If so, then Neeson must be at the eastern intersection of the circles, because a grenade's explosion sound can travel about 10 kilometers. If it's not in the downwind direction, then he might not be able to hear the explosion. Even if he hears the explosion, the sound wouldn't be that strong. After confirming the specific location, Neeson immediately tells his daughter to bring a pistol and 2 grenades, and quickly head to the eastern intersection of the circles. But just then, the gang boss comes in cursing and swearing, and even right in front of Neeson, uses a sharp steel blade to harm his wife's neck. In just half an hour, his wife will pass away from excessive blood loss. The reason the gang boss does all this is to make him watch his wife suffer, to avenge his deceased son. But at this moment, the gang boss still doesn't know. Neeson's counterattack plan is proceeding step by step. After the gang boss leaves, Neeson endures the severe pain, and starts using the triangular iron to rub against the zip ties on his wrists. But when Neeson finally breaks them, his wife already shows no response. But after removing her hood, he discovers his wife has only fallen unconscious. Even more fortunately, his daughter actually found the designated location. So Neeson tells her through the phone to just throw down a grenade. Through the grenade's explosion sound, Neeson confirms his daughter is nearby, and tells her to run east. Meanwhile, Neeson starts trying every way to remove the steam valve, because only this way can his daughter determine his position through the steam from the roof. As the last grenade goes off, Neeson has also removed the steam valve. Finally, through their perfect coordination, his daughter successfully finds her father's final location. Then, Neeson tells his daughter to throw the pistol down through the chimney, but the gang members who heard the noise have already caught up. But just at this extremely critical moment, the gang is about to enter the cell where Neeson is being held. To prevent his daughter from being captured alive, Neeson can only let his wife stay here alone first, but the only way up to the roof has 3 gang members with loaded weapons, so Neeson prepares to quietly take them out. After dealing with the gang members inside, Neeson charges aggressively towards his daughter's direction, but unexpectedly, his daughter has already been cornered by the gang. But just at this extremely critical moment, Neeson finally arrives to save his daughter. Then Neeson takes his daughter and steals a taxi, and sets the alarm clock countdown for 5 minutes, because Neeson still needs to rescue his beloved wife. If he doesn't return in 5 minutes, he tells his daughter to go to the embassy for protection herself. But what nobody expected was, when Neeson finds his beloved wife, she has already been taken away by the gang in a car, even though Neeson fires several shots at the gang. In the end, it's still too late, but Neeson doesn't give up because of this. Instead, he first sends his daughter into the embassy. Then, based on his previous capture experience, he recalls the various sounds he heard along the way, like the bumping sound of train tracks, the roaring sound of ship engines, the sound of an old man playing arrow by the roadside, and the slight lean from inertia when turning. Finally, Neeson stops in front of a large iron gate. Through the barking sounds inside, he determines this is the gang's hideout, and his wife must be here too. So Neeson suppresses his rage, determined to make them all pay a heavy price.